The rate of cancer is rapidly increasing, so what's very important for you to know is how to starve cancer in your body, but not starve yourself in the process. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski, and as mentioned, the dramatic increase in cancer rates are very, very alarming. The thing is about it is it's not just happening in the elderly, it's happening in young adults, which means that not only could it be a reality for you, but it could be a reality for me if we're not making the proper choices in our everyday life. And so we have to look at cancer and understand one thing: it's not normal. When we look at health history over a large span of time, many people didn't suffer from cancer like people are suffering today. When we look at indigenous cultures around the world, they also do not suffer from cancer like people in the modern world. So the one thing that we truly understand about this is it's very much lifestyle induced. And so we have to get to the root cause, because as the old saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So we have to always focus on the prevention aspect of cancer. I can tell you that I take care of people every single day who are suffering from cancer, and it's an awful place to be. So let's talk about how it happens and also what you can do to make changes today. Now, as we mentioned earlier, there's a rapid increase in cancer. Why is this happening? Let's go ahead and start with glucose. There's a few alarming statistics we have to be aware of. One is that the average person is consuming over 130 pounds of sugar every single year as an individual. And the other is that we used to call type 2 diabetes adult onset diabetes, but now it's happening in children so regularly that it's not even called that anymore. So what we know is that there is a rapid increase in the amount of sugar consumption that's happening. It's in all the different foods, the cereals, all the snacks that kids are eating. And the other reality is that one thing that cancer loves as a metabolic disease, cancer loves sugar. So if you want to starve the fuel source of cancer, then what you do is you start getting rid of sugar from your diet, because cancer doesn't thrive off of ketones, it thrives off of sugar. We're going to talk diet in just a minute, so hold out for that. But the big thing you need to know is work on a sugar-free diet and only have sugars that are found in fruits and sugars that are found in nature. Next is exercise. Now, another thing that's very common in the modern world that is not normal at all, and it really is something that's occurred in recent times, is that many people are working from computers, they're working from cell phones, there's watching TV, there's a lot of sitting around, and there's not a whole lot of movement. We know for a fact that when we start exercising, we can lower our blood sugar, we can lower our cholesterol, we can improve mitochondrial health, and which is very important for avoiding cancer. So one of the things that I encourage you to do is start moving, okay? So we want to make sure that we're getting at least a 30-minute brisk walk a day. It decreases your risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease by like 90%. It's so important. So make sure that you're getting out and moving, because this is a massive problem in the modern world. The next thing that we can focus on is fasting, okay? The reason that fasting is so important is one of the things that it's going to promote is metabolic flexibility. One of the things I see happen in individuals that start working with me who are in a very unhealthy place is when we talk about doing simple fasting like 16-8 intermittent fasting, they tend to struggle with it. When they start putting themselves in that fasted state, they literally have a hard time increasing their number of hours they're fasting, because what's happening is that their metabolism is not flexible. And what I mean by that is that they're stuck in a sugar burning mode, and their body literally doesn't have the ability to turn over into a fat burning mode. And when you're fasting, what happens is your body goes from being a sugar burner to a fat burner. And what this also is going to have happen during this process is you're going to start releasing ketones in the body, which are very healing, okay? So in order to actually help heal our metabolism, one of the things we want to do is implement fasting, because not only is our body going to be able to switch to a fat burner and release some of those healing ketones, it also is going to lower our cholesterol and lower our blood sugar and lower our insulin level and do all the things that is very important and healthy for us to avoid problems like cancer. It's going to help improve our metabolic function and create metabolic balance across the body. And that's very important. So fasting is really critical. And another key component to fasting is that when you're fasting, you're going to go into autophagy. And when your body enters a state of autophagy, this is where it's going to break down bad, unhealthy, cancerous cells and get rid of them so that your body can actually start to heal and thrive. So fasting is really important. 16 and 8 is a good place to start, but also a good goal is 24-hour fast, 48-hour fast, 3-day fast in order to help continue this healing process. Let's talk about diet, because this is a big one and this is very important to you. Now, when we look at diet today, it is a disaster. It's full of seed oils, it's full of sugar, and it's full of ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are where 48% of people spend all their time eating, okay? And the other thing that's crazy about ultra-processed foods is that in the past 20 years, the increase in consumption of ultra-processed foods has went up by 67% in young adults. And so we have to really look at this diet piece and make sure we're really honing in on it. We want to make sure that we're eating whole foods found in nature. We want to make sure that we're eating low carb. We're eating a sugar-free diet, and it really is that simple. You know, if you're following even a diet that's more ketogenic-like or cycling in and out of the ketogenic diet, that is also proven to be very, very good for those who are trying to prevent cancer. Because as I mentioned before, glucose feeds cancer, ketones do not. And so when you're in that state of ketosis for periods of time, and you don't have to be on it permanently, but just maybe do a cycle where you do ketosis for like, you know, a week or two, or maybe even a month, and just let your body heal during that process. So work on cleaning up diet. It's very important. The next is detox, okay? Detox is very important today. And there's a couple things we need to hit on here. One is that the reason detox is very important is because there's so many toxins in our environment. We have chemicals that are all around us. There's man-made chemicals everywhere in our clothing, cleaning products in our home. Everything that you buy has chemicals on it. The other issue is the toxins that are on our food. The pesticides on some of the healthiest foods you can eat, like strawberries and spinach, are just loaded with pesticides, okay? So we have to make sure that we're working to get these toxins out of our body. Now, detox is a very misunderstood topic because there's so many different ways out there that people believe that you can detox. There's detox teas and detox that, all these different things out there, and most of them are just a sham. What you really want to do is you want to actually focus on the natural detox system that exists in our body. Our lungs are detox organs. Our colon's a detox organ. Our cells have the ability to detox. Your brain has the ability to detox. So when we think of detox, what we're trying to do in this process is we're trying to open up these naturally occurring detox pathways in our body, and then really pushing those functions, those physiological functions, which actually detox our body regularly. That's what a true detox is. And what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below, because we run a huge detox program in my clinic, and we detox people regularly. You can do this actually at home. So I'll put a link to the detox system that we're using. It's a 90-day system, and it is very comprehensive. So you're pulling out heavy metals, you're pulling out pesticides, you're pulling out all the things that you don't want in your body. And detox is important because there is no doubt that the toxins that we encounter today are very much associated with the increased risk in cancer, okay? And like I said, we're hitting on the main issues here associated with cancer. Now, the next thing we have to really focus on is just using some common sense. A lot of times, you know, in the medical world today, it very much gets caught up on, well, can you prove that this toxin is directly linked to cancer? And can you prove that glucose is directly linked to cancer? And at the end of the day, if you just look at where, you know, general health used to be and where it is today, we have to understand that it's kind of common sense that these things are very problematic for the human species and your body, and it's not sitting well with us, right? It's causing many diseases beyond cancer. So use some common sense when it comes to diet and living, and just work on trying to be healthy, and don't wait for a healthcare system which thrives on the income made from disease to tell you to stop doing things that are bad for you because you think that they have their best interest in helping you avoid these diseases. And because disease is a big business, there's not a huge incentive structure to work on eradicating it. I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who needs it, and then next, watch this video over here because I think you'll love it.